Shalom Akim. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. And Shalom to the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who are today known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing their true heritage were known as the Israelites of the Holy Bible. Now, in this lesson I want to go ahead and just focus on something I found while browsing this subreddit. Now, if you're not familiar with Reddit, it's a news aggregate site. A lot of folly on this site, but it still has some good meat when it comes to getting the latest news and latest details of what's going on in the world. Basically, everybody comes here to share news, interesting things from around the world. But you just got to spit out the bones and you can pick out some good meat, kind of like what I've been finding here. This subreddit here particularly is known as late stage capitalism, which basically just talks about the craziness of what's going on in the economic system here in Babylon. From just showing how profits are, more important than people, and one of the things I wanted to that got me that gave me inspiration for this lesson was this. I'm going to go ahead and read it. It says, the premise of minimum wage when it was introduced was that a single wage earner should be able to own a home and support a family. That was what it was based on. A full-time job, any job, should be able to accomplish this. The fact people scoff at this idea is presented nowadays as though the people that bring up your groceries or hand you your burgers don't deserve the luxury of a home and a family is disgusting. And I totally agree, right? As I'm sure most of you who will watch this video, right? But there's a problem with the system. And the problem with that is that the system has actually been given over to the hand of the wicked, who are known for the most part as the nation of EDOM, or your so-called Caucasian race, who own everything and who have basically ran this entire system, into the ground on purpose, because this is the orchestrated chaos which they plan on raising the New World Order that they're currently trying to establish on this world. Now, these people, the ones namely in charge of it, are the Rothschilds, right? They're the main bankers, Jacob Rothschild, Evelyn Rothschild, and they are the main bankers, or the kings of this earth, that are pushing through all these economic reforms and changes. Namely here in Babylon, they introduced the Federal Reserve, which, since its introduction in the 1913, the dollar, which had a full purchasing, value of $1, as you can see here, since its introduction has basically just been a roller coaster to nothing, right? This is as of 2011. The dollar is worth, under 5 cents, or I think they said like 3 to 5 cents now as far as purchasing power, right? Now, so that's why you have, so not only are these jakes right now forced to deal with inflation, which is basically the devaluation of your money, but they're also dealing with the snakes at the very top, basically stealing all the value and making a run for it, moving out of the country, moving to Australia, China, and whatnot, right? That's ultimately what these jakes, who are trying to survive here in Babylon, who are hard workers, but ultimately they don't realize what's going on, that this is a planned destruction of their habitat, right? That they're here simply just to keep the machine running while it's careening towards a brick wall. Now, why is that? It's because because the Most High is doing it, and in turn, these Edomites who run the system, they are fulfilling this prophecy, because again, they know what's coming. They themselves at the very top, they read the scriptures and they know that there's a coming world war, which they've orchestrated, and that also has been prophesied in the Bible. They know that they need to obtain enough resources to be able to fight against the Lord who is coming back and who will put them out of their kingdom. But let me read this scripture which illustrates this point very well. This is James 5:1. Go now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. And that's exactly what these devils have done. You know, they've heaped on all this wealth onto them, right? Hoping that they could save it for after the world destroys itself, right? They believe they're going to come back and rebuild this new world order. But you know, spoiler alert, the Lord wins, and these guys get put into slavery, as it tells you in Revelations. Now, back to the minimum wage article or quote that I read. So at the point when minimum wage was initiated, you know, the value of the dollar was up, and you could definitely afford it, right? You could have definitely have afforded the you know, to buy a house. If you were simply, you know, flipping burgers, you could definitely have raised the household. But now you're working for basically pennies on the dollar, and you know, having these type of jobs, you know, you're not going to make it here in Babylon, right? And so you're forced to basically mostly do without, you know, live paycheck to paycheck, you know, not have what a lot of these Edomites get, because again, they get paid way more than all the other minorities here, especially us Israelites. But you know, here's a prophecy. Here's another prophecy against them, and this has to do with other current events that are happening right now. This is Isaiah 13:17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes, who is Iran, against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Now, you know, one of the reasons why this is true is because, you know, one, Iran just hates America's guts, and they're not going to be able to be bribed. But another thing too, because these soldiers, they're going to know the dollars are worthless. So, you know, when people are going to try to, you know, bribe these soldiers when they come over here and stuff and invade, they're not going to take this worthless paper. You know, Iran themselves have already separated themselves from the dollar, which is one of the reasons why Iran is being attacked by America and Israel economically, which is why Trump just pulled out of that nuclear deal and to impose these extreme economic sanctions. You know, it's all leading to World War III, people. So, but the good thing is that, you know, for us Israelites, you know, we don't have to worry about these cankered riches, right? These this money that's rotting away, because as it tells you in 1 Peter 1:18, it says, For as much as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by traditions of your fathers. Right? What were some of those traditions, right? The American dream, the going to college, You know, putting yourself into debt so that way you could get a great job. And you know, people now. Let me go back to this is an image I just seen. You know, here's a perfect mind, right? Tells you this is what reality is, right? What you think college educations are, and what reality, what it's going to lead your ass to, a minimum wage job, right? These were the vain conversations and the traditions of our forefathers that we were given, that the Lord has woken us up from, right? But we've been redeemed, because it tells you in verse 19, it says, but with the precious blood of the Mashiach, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. And the great thing is, you know, is that we've been given that promise, us Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So yes, we're suffering here in Babylon, but this is only for a small while, because our true riches are up in heaven, right? In the next kingdom to come. We just need to wake up and claim them and do right by the Lord. So hopefully this video was edifying, Akim. Until the next time, Shalom.